Hey there, Internet! Welcome to the Hard On Gear channel, where I discuss and review my used and abused knives and gear so that you know what is or isn't worth spending your hard-earned money on. If you want to help this channel grow, please consider subscribing and turning the notification bell on. Hit like on this video if you do like it. Send all of your Hard On Gear stories, pictures, and videos to the Hard On Gear Instagram or send them to hardongearchannel@gmail.com. Thanks, and on to the video. Here we have my first ever CRKT folding knife. I've got the CRKT Chance and Hell Bolo. Nice big, well, not that big really, 16-inch overall, something like that. It's pretty nice, handy, compact, but very capable little small machete. So this particular CRKT model is one of the most popular folding knives of the last couple of decades for sure, and one of the ones that apparently a lot more of men and women in armed forces and military and such tend to carry this if they want like a EDC/tactical folder. Basically something that if they need to beat it off of something, they can get away with that little bit of extra abuse that it might endure in those circumstances. It's just never really appealed to me because I already had a Recon one, which is already a big bad tactical folder, and this bad boy, let's see here. Well, you know, hey, not that big really. Wow, it's crazy to me. I get it now. I kind of get it as I get all these knives, just how big the Recon one is. So let's see here. Flipper tab, right? Yeah, okay. So let's open that right. Oh, yeah, just not broken in yet. There we go. So this is the CRKT M16. I gotta say, a little tinier than what I thought it would be. Does this come in two sizes or something? Like, am I being duped? So when I ordered this, I'm looking at the different M16 models, right? And I'm thinking, okay, this is not a knife I'm really going to use or carry much, just because, again, it looks just to be a bit much. This already looks to be a bit much. That's why I picked up the Manix 2, because it doesn't look nearly as scary, but it's still big, still beefy, and still super awesome, super capable, and very, very comfortable. Even beating out, by far, I'd say, beating out the Recon 1, which is still a really comfortable knife. This is just awesome. So by comparison, this little thing doesn't really fit in my hand. It's not super, super ultra light, but it's probably 3 or 4 ounces. This is certainly not that big. Built to be very strong and durable, and hopefully to be able to stand up to most things. Do I think it'll stand up to most things the way the Recon 1 can stand up to them? I don't know. We'll find out. I will try and beat this knife up a little bit. It cost about 60 bucks, something like that Canadian. I think 60, yeah, I think we're around $60 Canadian, so probably what, 40, 50 bucks for you American folks? So it looks super tactical to me, so for me it was just never something that really appealed. Haha. But that was more of a lot of folks on the YouTube way back in the days of 2012, 2013 were pretty much all in agreement that even back in then, it was the OS 8 version here, this is a great hard use folding knife. So there's just really no complaints about the Recon 1 for what I've done to it. So by comparison, this little thing doesn't really fit in my hand all that well. So what this means to me is that this might actually be a knife that we get to test out a little bit. I don't really see me using this for anything, and I do not own a folding knife with a tanto blade. The closest thing now is this new Benchmade, which I've also got now, which is a reverse tanto. But as you can see, big difference between those two blade styles. I figured for something I'm not going to use too much, and then maybe just even something to have for like an extra size comparison and for different things like that, it's just something to play around with. It doesn't cost a whole ton of money. I believe these are all 8CR13 MOV blades. Just an aluminum handle, 7-inch blade overall, or 7-inch knife. Yes, so we're looking at 7 inches overall with a 3-inch blade length. So partial serration covers about 3/4 of an inch. And why? Especially after I'm going with more of these full belly blades versus the serrated or combo wedges. I just figured, again, knife I'm not going to use. I'll get something ridiculous and kind of super tactical looking just because I'm never going to carry this. It's just going to be played around with for some stuff. But I don't really think I like it that much. Even if it was a couple inches bigger and I could get, like, I can get a full four-finger grip on that. But there's not a lot I'm going to be doing in this chopping motion with this knife. I can really see this being more of like a small little EDC thing if I don't want to carry anything. But I think, well, yeah, how much? I shouldn't be banging these together. That's probably driving some people nuts. Oops, sorry. Yeah, I'm going to turn these around. Hard on my gear, and I cannot lie. I really don't think there's any circumstance where for the extra 3/4 of an inch of blade length, It's more or less a little bit bigger, and barely, the weight's negligible. You're not going to notice the difference. I'd rather take this probably all the time. And I'm not even a big fan of Benchmade, not even a really big fan of this 940 yet. It's growing on me though as things go, well, as this lock smooths out and I get a little more used to it. It's, you son of a bitch, right on camera, why'd you do that to me? It's actually starting to feel pretty good, and god damn it, why can I can do it better with my right hand for some reason on this Benchmade 940-2. No. It still needs to be broken in, and this is actually still quite stiff, and I'm having a little bit of axis lock stick. So if I aggressively do that, things stuck a little bit, son of a bitch. Yeah, I don't know, M16. I'll switch that pocket clip around, then I'll try you out for a little bit. But you're going to be a hard-on gear testing tool after a couple months, but I'll see what happens. I'll see if I can find some use for you, but I don't think there's anywhere I want this to be where somebody's not going to find this and think, what are you doing with that thing? But I'm going to stab some cardboard with it and see how stabby it is, because, well, look at it. It is a stabbing machine. But this looks too weapony for my taste, and if I'm ever carrying this, nope, don't want to have that conversation with an enforcement officer. If any of these bad boys catch your interest, or maybe if fixed blades are more your thing, just check out the links to one of these knives and see what I got for the reviews on those. And especially keep your eyes open for these videos, because I'm sure in the next few months I'm going to do some probably dumb and ridiculous stuff with this just to see what it can do, because I don't see me using this for anything other than making fun videos. So for now, this will be the Hard on Gear channel. Quick update. I've done a little Googling and I've sat here and played with this knife for a couple hours, and I've got things figured out. So I did not do my research, and I've seen M16s in so many videos, but I've never actually planned on buying one, so I've just never looked at them on the sites, never really checked to see the difference between different models. Apparently there's multiple sizes, and this happens to be more of the EDC friendly size, which I did kind of seem to figure out just because of the fact that it's certainly not the large tactical folder that I expected. Because again, the Recon 1 to me was something that more or less did everything the full size 9.5 or 9.75 inch M16 does, but the Recon 1 was just a better knife overall, at least in my opinion. And I think the ergonomics of it aren't even in the same ballpark. The M16 isn't a bad knife, and of course the bigger one would feel different. My biggest issue with it, I think, is the way the front flipper tab and where it turns into the back flipper. I like to be able to choke up on a knife this small, and I really don't know who would want to just... there's not a lot of uses for this knife other than stabby. Yeah, you can cut some stuff and slice, but I'd much rather have my thumb if I'm doing any slicing or any kind of whittling or anything like that with a knife this size. So that front flipper turning into the back handguard does not really appeal to me. And I get why it's there, and it's, I think, not really meant to be a fine whittlework sort of knife. Maybe to me it just seems like an easy fix that could be modified, and I do believe there are M16 versions without this, and maybe when I order my full-size M16 here soon, I'll maybe order the one that doesn't have that front flipper tab. Yeah, and I should say too, the other thing I don't like about it, the frame lock, which is solid and sturdy, but it's even harder than a liner lock. It's a pain in the ass because I can't really do that with my left hand. The way it's built, there's no extra cutout sticking out there, or cutout on the right side to make the lock stick out more. So I can't. I've hurt my thumbnail actually a little bit just using the 940, doing the thumb flick quite a bit. So being a bit of a puss right now, but basically I can't put enough pressure without peeling my fingernail back on that. So I've kind of got to use my right hand. So a bit of a pain in the ass, not super comfortable. And the other thing to mention is the pocket clip is tip down only. Boo! Who the hell wants a tip down pocket knife? I know some people, but not trying to be offensive here. I just don't understand why the hell you'd ever want to wear your knife tip down. That's pretty offensive, isn't it? Anyways, M16 probably could use a better pocket clip. Material-wise, it's about what you'd expect for something in that price range of about 60 bucks Canadian, but 40 bucks American, something like that. I still need to do some research before I order whatever I'm going to order, but this is the 10KSF, so 10K Special Forces, whatever, but it's the it's like a 7-inch EDC version. Is it 7-inch? Yeah, 7-inch EDC version with a 3-inch blade, and the larger models I think are like a 9.75 inches overall or something like that with a 4-inch blade. But yeah, so look for that new one when it comes out. For now, yeah, this is Hard on Gear Channel actually signing off.